Last year, David Popovici was the hottest swimmer in the world. Currently in Romania, his home country is the European Short Course Championships, and he's in lane 4 of the final of his signature event, the 200 freestyle. And as you can see, he's getting dominated by the two British boys either side of him, and he misses out on the medals completely. Is David Popovici past his prime? Will he be good at the Olympics? Let's talk about it. I know you're thinking it. Did David Popovici peak too soon? Is he on a downward trajectory as quick as he was on an upward trajectory leading up to his world record in 2022? Did he fly too close to the sun? I want to look at a few different things from this meet that maybe can help us come to, I don't want to say a conclusion, but give us an idea on maybe if it is all over for David Popovici. Now, before we go any further and look at Exhibit A, I do just want to say that, first of all, this is a short course meters meet. Leading on from that point, and that's the Olympic Games next year in Paris, they're not short course. They are very much in the 50 metre format. They're very much in the long course pool. And what you end up finding with these earlier season meets is some people will be fully rested and tapered for them. Some people are naturally stronger at them. And I was going to say someone like Seb Szabo, who got very close to his own world record in the 50 butterfly short course meters. But ultimately, if you're someone like Seb, you're not going to win the 100 butterfly long course. Sorry, Seb, but you're not going to win the 100 butterfly long course at the Paris Olympics. So why don't you go all in and try and win the short course 50 butterfly at the Euros? You know, take titles where they come. No, I actually beat him in that race. But the point I'm making, I think, is still very much there. Some people won't be rested at all. Some people follow the very old school mentality, and it's not a wrong mentality of that. You put a load of work in and you rest once. Especially the people from countries like Romania, where David is already qualified for the Olympics. David has no issues making a team in April and whatever. He is going to the Olympics in the 100 and 200 freestyle and any other events he probably wants to do, some relays with his teammates or whatever he wants. That is guaranteed. So as far as he's concerned, he doesn't have to be great or peaked or ready until he dives in Paris in like whatever it is, 7-8 months from now. That being said, you would think he'd have some motivation to win, be in a home competition, be in a Romanian competition with all his national supporters in the crowd, cheering him on and expecting great things from the great David Popovici. Before we do open up the first race I want to look at from David, I just want to say, if you like what I do, you like the videos I make, check out my website, check out my merch, like this t-shirt right here, www.TheSwimsuitGuy.co.uk. I sell training plans, coaching resources, and of course merch like the t-shirt, and it really does support me a lot. If you're watching this video the day it comes out, I still have a few more hours of my birthday sale going on. Let's take a look at this first race from David. This video is from day 1 of the meet. It's the first final session, and in lane 7, David Popovici is leading off his country's 4x50 freestyle relay team. I'll be honest and say that his start isn't the best. He does get beaten out by guys either side to him to 15, but it looks really good on the stroke. He's not breathing, he's got his head down, his stroke rate looks high, his turn is quick, and again, the turn is not the best, but if you consider how much the guy on his left beats him off the wall, David almost takes him out and touches in a new PB of half a second in 21.3. David kicks off this championships with a lifetime best of around half a second in the 50 freestyle. And we know this is not a race that he's ever made any claims of winning, and I don't think this race makes him now a shoo-in for a run at the title at the Olympics in the 50 freestyle. It just gives us one absolute piece of data, and that is right now, David is the fastest he's ever been. Once you have gained speed, maybe saying that him and his coach felt like he was lacking from his arsenal, you can add whatever you want to it. And back end, he's never had any problem gaining. So now when we watch his next race, the 200 freestyle final, you may say, well, he's lacking the back end, that special thing he used to have. And maybe that is the case. Maybe it is. But even if it is, he now has speed. And when he puts on the hard work or whatever he's done in the past, the back end will come back. There's no way that's leaving him. He's still tall, skinny, strong, fit. And in long course, when he doesn't have the disruption of the turn, I think he's still going to be a contender. But let's watch the 200 freestyle and let's see what we can take from that race.
David had done enough to get into lane 4, and this is the only short course title that David has ever won on an international level in his career. He won the 200 freestyle at this meet in 2021 with a time of 1:42.1, and that was the season that he went on to basically be the best swimmer in the world. I actually met him for the only time in my life at the World Short Course Championships just after he won the Euros in Abu Dhabi, where he didn't even make the final in this event, going a 1:43 mid. And he said to me, right now I'm in God training. The results don't matter, but they will matter in the summer when I go some amazing times long course. And my only hope is that he's in God training once again. Whatever God training is, it works for him, and I'd like to see him in that state. In this particular race, he went out at 23.4 to the feet, that was second, and at the 100 mark, he turned in fourth at 49.5. He looked really smooth and easy here. And watching this race, I thought him and Matt looked like they were taking it a lot easier than Jimmy in the lane above David. I thought it would be between them on the last length. He's using more underwater kicks than he ever has in the past, but they're not super effective just yet. As we approach the turn to hit the last 50, it looks neck and neck between these three boys and Danis Rapsis, who's out of the frame. But Matt and Jimmy both have better turns and start to move the stroke rate on. While Popovici does bring his kick in, he doesn't bring the same level of stroke rate as Matt has. Matt uses this to his advantage and he is now leading. And while Popovici does then bring the stroke rate in on the last 25, the damage is already done. Matt's a killer and has already won this race. And Popovici doesn't have enough space to catch back up and does finish for fourth in a 1:41.5.
Outside of the fact that David is now quicker than he ever has been before, he still possesses something else that made him the swimmer that we all know today, and that is impeccable technique. He swims beautifully. He has the perfect high elbow recovery. You can see he gets on his catch just brilliant and holds water like nobody else. He never was a turner. He never was an underwater kicker. He was a swimmer, and he still has that swimming. And in the short course pool, ultimately, everyone has so many great attributes that may make you better. And while I don't think Jimmy or Matt, either of them are truly short course specialists, I think they're both better in the long course pool as well, it ultimately means that fourth here doesn't really reflect in any way as to what's going to happen in Paris. That's not to say I don't want my British boys to go on and do the 1-2 like they've been making a habit of over recent years, and I would love to see them do the 1-2 in Paris. But I don't think we can rule out David Popovici in any way just yet. I think he's a special talent. I think he's headstrong. And I think he has his eyes set firmly on being an Olympic champion. Ultimately, though, it doesn't matter what I think. We can derive no true data from this meet in terms of what's going to happen in the future. And the thing with championship meets is that it doesn't matter how hard you worked or whether or not you shaved or if you're tapered. It just matters if you won or if you lost. And for that reason, you can't take anything away from Matt Richards, the British boy who set a PB in the final to take this championship. You can't take anything away from Jimmy Guy, who also went a PB of 1:41.1 to win this title. But what you can say is that David Popovici's 1:41.5 isn't a PB. He did go 1:40.8 last year at the World Short Course in Melbourne on the back of all his super successful long course season. But this is quicker than what he'd done leading into the long course season where he set all the world records. But for the sake of great entertainment in our sport, I really hope that David is firing at his best once again come the Olympics, because I think he's going to make some great races with all the other incredibly talented swimmers in the world right now. One of my biggest issues is that I want success from everyone. I want fast swimming from everyone, and I hope that's the case next summer. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and do check out my website where I'm selling things like this t-shirt, but also some incredible arena swim caps at the moment. There's becoming increasingly less and less of these left in stock. I've got 100 stock in tow. I think we're well under the 50 mark. These are my favourite hat. They're the Arena molded silicone cap. You can see they've got this great shape to them. They're blue, Arena on the front, my logo on the side. These are perfect for both racing and training. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks again. I'll see you on the next one.